enter a 3mm brass bar. So simple plan is to just take a little angle off that with the grinder, feathering out to a point, and then just cut. So that's feathering in, and just cut a little notch and a little spike effectively into the end of it. And that will allow me then just to get that in and about, wrap the end in duct tape, and job's a good one. Professional tools, right? So here I am, lying in a hole in the dirt under a boat, testing out my new reefing iron. So we've managed to get a good way in all these seams under here, and we'll just keep going. It's not a bad wee tool, bends quite badly, so you have to straighten it all the time, but it does the job, gets the basics out of the way.
So the caulking is set in almost a double layer, so it's there's like two different strands jammed in there and wedged in there, and it's fairly rotten, and it's not really pulling out as a single strand. It's kind of just ripping and tearing in pieces, and the putty on top of that is rock solid. It's obviously been in there for years and years and years, and it's like plaster of Paris. I mean, I'm almost chiseling it out, so it's pretty slow and pretty hard going, to be fair. So I apologise, the audio over the next few clips is fairly quiet and fairly muffled, so I'll just do a wee voiceover for you. So what we're looking at is the bootlace effectively threaded along the gunnels of the boat. The aim of that is to pull the sides back together and take some of the strain off the broken frames. And what you'll see in a second is me inserting a beam under the inwale and a bottle jack. And effectively what I'm doing here is I'm then pushing up the top of the deck. So I'm lifting with a combined effort of the bottle jack and the bootlasing. I'm lifting the broken side of the frame and the broken end of the frame up. And hopefully then I'm going to be able to sister in a couple of bits of oak to take that strain whilst I am getting the laminated / steamed ribs into place before I replace them. So
Fairly bowing in that big beam there. Good curve. So what we've managed to get here is we've managed to jack that up so it's more aligned. So we've got a bit of space hopefully between these planks a little bit more space. Screw through there, coach bolt, coach bolt, coach bolt. So we're double sistered up inside there. I'm going to actually put another couple of screws, hopefully try and get right the way through the whole lot. I've got a couple of big screws, I'm going to try and put them in there, and that will hopefully then just get some strength back into there. It's not going to hold the whole side of the boat, but it'll provide some support. And if I do the same on each of the two frames, hopefully it'll start to lift this side of the boat and allow a bit more space for these planks to start relaxing. And if I can relax them out, then hopefully we can get to the live flush again. So this morning's plan is to take this lovely piece of oak here, which I got from Scottish Sawmill Services, a fantastic place as well worth checking out if you're in Fife or Perthshire, and start ripping it down into 5mm lengths so that I can then choose the best bits, work my way around some of the knots. It's fairly knot-free bit of wood, but there are some semi-large ones in there which we have to take account of as we start ripping out our laminates. I'm looking for 2 metre lengths at about 5mm thick, and that will hopefully allow me to layer them up to the required thickness of about 30mm on each side. Allowing me plenty of space either way for scraping and planing and just making them look pretty. So that's what I'm aiming to do today, just get these down to the required size. Now it's a fairly large lump of wood, and I don't have a table saw, and I'm cutting it down to a fairly small bit. So 5mm for a sheet, saw blade is about 2mm. So my plan is to simply cut on this side of the line and then just take another measurement at 5mm and just draw along. So take a measurement, sliding bevel, take your 5mm, and then you just simply draw a line along it like that, all the way along. Got a nice big circular saw, and that should hopefully make its way through it. Now the wood is just about the thickness of the blade, so it's going to be slow going, but we will get there. If that doesn't work and we're getting too much wiggle and too much wobble, I'll see about fitting some sort of brace or bracket. I could screw or bolt something to here to act like a fence. Now if we take a wee peek at this bit of wood here, it's certainly not perfect, but it's not actually all that bad considering what we're running it through. Now it's just a standard off-the-shelf flat planer, a couple of bits of 6mm ply, simply nailed down to the bench, a couple of wee bits there. This is not actually attached in any way, it's just a couple of wee guides there just to keep it in roughly the right direction whilst I'm forcing stuff under it. So that was a good success. We've managed to get the laminates cut out for one of the ribs, and I've given them a quick plane, and that's all good. So we'll set them aside just now. Now the wood that I'm using for our laminates has come from Scottish Sawmill Services out the back in Newborough, and it's been air dried for a good 2 years or so, sitting outside in a barn. So it's really good stuff. So it's almost a shame to be using it for those laminates that I've got. This was the straightest and best grained wood I could get my hands on at the time, so I did choose this air dried wood. It is lovely. If I get able to get my hands on some green stuff, I will be looking to try and steam some of the ribs in. Laminates are fantastic, and they give me the ability to force the boat into a new shape. However, I would like to use steamed ribs simply for speed if we can. So if I can find a way of getting the steamed ribs to work properly, then that's what I would like to try and do. And to sort of help me along that, I'm going to try and get some green wood, Scottish Sawmill Services, in the next couple of weeks. And that should hopefully do the job. First frost of the year, yahoo! Icy rib stock. So just doing a wee test run with some of the rib stock. So I've got a wee bit of steel pipe here and a couple of thin pieces here. So this is a little bit wider, but the same thickness as the ribs I'm going to be steaming. It's a bit of an offcut, so it's not a perfect grain. There's a few swirls and whatnot in there, so it wouldn't surprise me if it breaks, but I just want to see how easily it is to bend. And we've got a really thin bit as well, just to see how that goes as well. These have both been soaking in the water trough for about 10 days now. Fallen it back into the workshop, and we've got just a simple wallpaper steamer, and I'll give it about an hour, half an hour to an hour. Okay, this is me at 30 minutes for the wee thin plank, so I'm just going to pull that out, just give it a wee bend to see what it looks like. So that's not too bad. Like I said, it's not an ideal choice of wood, there's a bit of checking in there anyway, but first go round, that's not bad at all, that'll do me fine. Still got the ice on one end. Okay, here we go, that's 1 hour in the steam box for the 1-inch piece. That's not too bad. As you saw, we had a wee breakage. That's due to grain run out there, I think, more than anything. But no, it did bend a little bit further than that as well. I mean, I managed to get a full 90-degree bend into that with my knee. However, I've just not left it long enough to set. But that's fine, that's good, that does the job. Happy with that. So if you like what you're seeing, please like, share and subscribe. Stay tuned, it's going to be a bit of an adventure and hopefully get to be out on a slightly bigger boat than this. Thanks for watching. Bye.